So if you at all play Pokemon Showdown, you might realize that some Pokemon have stuff like OU, UU, NU, Ubers right before their name, and you might be confused about that. So, for example, the Pokemon Among Us is an OU. What these are different tiers. Now, with the tier OU being the standard tier, with going down by UU, RU, NU, and then PU. And then Ubers is above OU, which are pretty much any Pokemon that would be too strong for OU and would just not be as fun in OU if they were in standard play. Like, for example, box art legendaries like Groudon or Kyogre or Rayquaza, for example. And there are a few different rules for OU, which is the standard, which OU, you can't have endless battles. For example, you can't have a Pokemon with, like, let's say, you have Lepaberry and you have Recycle, and you just keeps going on and on and on with Fling with it. So a good example is Slowbro. Slowbro had an incident where you could essentially just recycle your whole entire game, and it would just go on, and it's just banned. As well as a few moves like Baton Pass. You have Evasion Clause, which means you can't use Double Team or Minimize, and just not be able to miss every move. Pretty much, it just becomes unfun, unplayable, and that's kind of the same idea with the Moody Clause, which is pretty much you can't use any Pokemon with Moody, for example, Glalie or Octillery, because it's just not fun again. Essentially what Moody does is you gain 2 stats and lower 1. It just becomes luck based and just not fun once again. So it's really just not fun. As well as Species Clause, so like you can't have any 2 Pokemon. For example, I can't have 2 Gengars, and yeah, it's just again Species Clause is just to make the game more fun. And then there's also OTK clause, which essentially is that, or OKO clause, sorry, which is you can use moves like Fissure, Guillotine, Horn Drill, or Sheer Cold, which is, again, it's just to get rid of any unfun strategies in the game, because, hey, it's supposed to be more of a competitive game, at least for Showdown. Showdown is supposed to be competitive, and you can have fun. That's where anything goes. So, hey, if you want to do anything, pretty much anything, do anything goes. And then Sleep Clause is like, you can't say you spore on 2 Pokemon at the same time while one is already sleeping, because sleep is a really overpowered ability right now to have. So yeah. And then anything that's too strong for OU would goes to Ubers. So again, like let's say something like Groudon once again. And then anything that doesn't get used in OU, which is any usage that is 4.52%, anything under that will go into UU, which is the next tier after OU, right? But anything that's overpowered in UU, just say, for example, uh, there's right now is Iron Leaves right now. So what this does is that it's not necessarily an OU Pokemon, but you can't use it in UU, right? So it's too strong for UU, but it's not strong enough for OU. That's pretty much any kind of borderline. And any tier except for like OUBL, which is just Ubers again. So there's UUBL, RUBL, NUBL, and PUBL. Pretty much anything that's too strong for those tiers, but are not strong enough for those tiers, will have a little area where they can ban their own Pokemon. So, for example, again, Iron Leaves is too strong for UU currently. And yeah, they have pretty much the same restrictions, Sleep Clause, Species, Moody, etc., etc. Pretty much just another tier to play for more weaker Pokemon that you might want to use. Because let's say my favorite Pokemon is Scizor. I can just use Scizor in UU. And it's very, very nice to have, right? Very awesome. Going down, once again, is RU, which is the same thing as UU, but for a lower tier, once again. And it just goes down and down into NU, and then PU, which is the very end of it. And then there's also Lil Cup, which is this baby Pokemon, pretty much. So yeah. that's a basic rundown of any tiers in Pokemon. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, and goodbye.